Aloha, everybody. Welcome to our call number 3, Trace Sun. That was Japanese. And I'm so excited to be with you today and have you all here. Today is October 23rd, and we have a lot of great material to cover. At the beginning of this course, it was very interesting when I looked through the questions that were submitted. There were 6 questions, and they were just like, kind of questions. And now the questions that are coming in are deep and meaty, which is a really good sign, because that means that you are doing your homework and you are diving in and you really, really want to know stuff. So I applaud all of you and encourage you continue doing that. I don't know if you like Denzel Washington, but he plays in a movie called Deja Vu, and in it, a black government SUV comes to pick him up and whisk him off to a top security kind of a compound. And as they're driving him there, they say to him, "Do you have any questions?" And he gave the classic answer, which I love. It's, "In order for me to have questions, I have to know something first." So I applaud you. And today we're going to be talking about presenting, because that's what's coming up this week. And I want you to keep a visual of that gorgeous looking man, Denzel Washington, in your mind, that asking questions is the best way to be a leader. So what does that mean? Okay, well, I'm going to start out with a story. About 200 years ago, on a lone battlefield, a man in civilian clothing rode his horse across this area where he saw a group of men frantically digging what was obviously a fortification for a battle. This was a battlefield, and these men were digging, and they were toiling away in the hot sun. And the section leader was sitting nearby on his horse, canteen in hand, and he was shouting orders to these men. And he was breathing out threatenings if they did not have the job done within 1 hour. Well, the man in civilian clothing, he called out and he said, "Why aren't you helping them?" And the section leader yelled back, "I am the leader. I am the boss. These men do what I tell them. And if you are so concerned about it, you can get off your horse and help them." Well, to his great surprise, the man in civilian clothing did dismount, and he got down in the trenches and he toiled under the hot sun with those men until the job was done. Before he got back on his horse, he thanked those men for a job well done, and then he rode over to the section leader. He said, "Next time you let your rank interfere with the support of your men and prevent you from supporting them, you should notify high command, and I will make sure that there is a permanent solution to that." The section leader looked more closely, and the man in civilian clothing was General George Washington. He realized a very important lesson, the section leader did. And as we are here today in this call, all of you, without me saying one more word, you are going to be able to draw your own conclusions about what that story means to you, what it means to your upline, what it means to your downline, what it means to your customers, what it means in your family, what it means in any kind of a relationship. So there are 2 phrases that come from that story. One of them is, "Get off your high horse." And the other one is, "Get in the trenches." So today we are going to talk about what it feels like and it looks like to be literally in the trenches of doTERRA. And remember, okay, all of you, make the shaka sign, the hang loose. Okay, let's say it out loud. So let's start with our pinky. So we've got that, the hang loose. Actually, in Hawaii, if you ever want to do it, you do it upside down. You just like that. That's how you do it. You just upside down, you just kind of shake it. And then everybody will know. And you raise your eyebrows. You're like, that's just what you do. So now you're pros at that. So let's remind ourselves, this is our pipe. The pinky and the thumb is where we can easily get hung up. And this is like quicksand. These two, the pinky and the thumb, are like quicksand because it feels so good, so yummy. Oh, I love being in the preparation stage. Oh, organize my oils into alphabetical order. Make my website. You know, all of those things, and go to a seminar and go on the call and listen to Tiffany Peterson and all that stuff. It really is so, it's like a siren call, not like a police siren, but those of you who know the legend of Odysseus, the Odyssey in Greek mythology, and he and his men hear the sirens singing. Actually, he stopped the ears of his men, and he hears them. And it's these beautiful temptresses, these women who are really evil creatures who lure the sailors to their death on this island. So the siren call of prepare and support. Oh, it means yes in sign language. Very cool. Oh yeah, because it's a Y. So let's do it. Here we go. So we're spelling pipes. So here we go. Spell it first. P-I-P-E-S. Very nice. So let's say the words now. P for prepare. Okay, now here's your first income producing activity. I for, we learned it this week, invite. Good job, Stephanie. I see your mouth going. Okay, middle finger for present. Very nice, which is what we are learning about this coming week. Teaching a class, doing a one-on-one, presenting to somebody, to a customer, to a potential builder like Dorit did. Okay, so that's present. And then E for
enroll.
Amanda did this one 3 times this week. Enroll. Yay. Enroll. And then the final one is very important too, but support. Very good. Yes. I see you saying it. Very good. So today we are on the present, the middle guy. Okay. So I, once again, really don't want to rehash the homework. The homework is amazing. The videos are fabulous. These are men and women who have walked this walk. They are like the great Blondine, that tightrope walker who has already, they have already gone the path, and they are giving us some of their very best tips. So please, please, please watch the videos. I don't want to just repeat it and regurgitate it because they're way better at saying it than I am. But I have some really good jewels and tidbits. Did you notice I just said jewels that I'm going to share with you today? Okay, so let me really fast before we do this. What are your, these are questions. What are your ideas for the best places to hold weekly classes that are not at home? Right now, everybody in the chat box, put your favorite places to have classes that are not at home. Okay, and I am waiting for the chat box. Oh, Spinning Beach Ball of Death. Once again, there we go. Starbucks, coffee shop, coffee houses and parks, coffee shop, my work has a kitchen, in my salon. How about a library? Reserving one of the auxiliary rooms in a library. Oh, Tori, a library. How about a friend's house? Oh, yes, amazing idea. How about a gym, a classroom? How about Dunkin' Donuts, says Shara. Okay, so just keep putting those up for your ideas for hosting classes. Okay, the fast start bonus and the power of 3 bonus and the rank bonuses and the uni level paycheck. Those are really, really well explained in videos elsewhere, and they're already captured. So I'm going to put a note to myself to post that on our Facebook page. So whoever asked that question, know that that will be coming. And do you see, I have my pen and I'm writing it down. Post. So now it will be my fault if I forget. Okay. One of my biggest blocks is, I'm assuming it says blocks, is can I really do this? You know, I don't text, I don't do internet, so Facebook is off, and finding people in this small place where I live, there are so few people that act interested. Okay, we're gonna talk about that today. I have a desire to build my business and help people change their lives and become helpful in helping them with their health issues. Who does that not define? Is there anybody that doesn't fit into that category? So we all are. Everybody give us a high five. Bloop, 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 bloop. Awesome. Okay. Thank you for saying that. Whoever like verbalized that. I would like to learn how to book classes from classes and different incentive ideas. I would like some advice on how to manage this business when you don't have a car. Wow. Super intense there. I know I can host classes here at my apartment, but what about giving out samples and doing wellness consultations later? Okay. Have you heard of Zoom? Okay. It is hard when you don't have a car, especially if you want to do one-on-ones. So hopefully you have maybe public transportation, but a lot of it can be done through interacting on FaceTime, Skype, Google Hangouts, Zoom. And then so once a week, Tiffany Peterson teaches about time blocking. She said there's a lot of ways to get the ball rolling in certain goals that you have, but instead of, she's just offering this. She's not saying it's the best way. She's just offering it. Instead of doing 2 samples on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday, get them all in order and then do them all on Friday. So you're doing common things in one huge block of time. And that girl thing, although I know we have Ian and John and other men on this call, that thing of, oh, I'm so good at multitasking. I can do this, and I can do laundry, and I can cook, and I can talk on the phone, and I can chew gum, and I can solve the problems of the world all at the same time. You know, that's kind of how we are. But Tiffany Peterson invites us to just take a look and see if we can chunk things together more. So a really fun way to do a wellness consult after oils have come is for you to do a Zoom and they have their oils all in front of them. And then you say, pick up that peppermint right now and I'll talk to you about it. And so the person on the other side is going, oh, this peppermint. So you really can do it. It takes some ingenuity and it takes some creativity. So if any of you have ideas on that, would you please post them on the Facebook group? And I'll make a title like ideas for reaching out when you can't be in person. And then let's all just get active on there and share ideas, because this group right here is an amazing group with so much creative juice flowing. So let's get that together. And then I can gather it all from there, and then I can maybe copy it out to some of you that don't do Facebook. Okay. Mastering the LRP. Yes. Do it yourself. Start with you. Walk the walk. Get off your high horse. Get in the trenches. Figure it out, and then you'll be able to help others. The compensation plan. Okay. So Power of 3 and what was the other one that somebody asked about? Oh, I just saw it. Oh, fast start bonuses. That will be on Facebook. I'll post some good links for that. It's interesting how several people are asking the same types of questions. Okay, this one is hard. How to handle overwhelming questions of medication interactions and overanalyzing. Okay, what I have discovered for me personally is to go onto the EO Movement Facebook group, which Callie Wilson, who's the head of our team for most of us, that's her page. You can post any question there, and there are almost 4,000 people in that group, and you will get somebody who will help you and say, don't put this with that. Or I just posted a question about colloidal silver because one of my prospects takes colloidal silver every day. And when I started him on the Lifeline Vitality, I was like, oh, I don't know. And so I just posted that question, and immediately 3 people said, I use it all the time. I combine it and it's fine. So I was able to text my guy and say, you're good. So I didn't know that. I don't use colloidal silver. I didn't know. So that is a really great resource. And that's what I would tell you. It's going to probably get you the most bang for your buck right there, because so many times doctors don't know. You know, it's like, consult your doctor, and they look at this and they're like, I don't know what a sesquiterpene is. I don't know what a limonene is. And so it really does help to just go into that community of users. Yes, EO Movement Face group where we can ask. Yep. Okay. Let's see. Social media. Okay. If you are, I'll just tell you what I've been told a million times, if I've been told once. If you are thinking that you are going to be able to build your business 100% on social media, you are in a very, very small percentage. To send out invitations via Facebook invitations, that is the best way to set yourself up for failure. And you do all this work for a class and you're like, well, I invited 25 people and they all said they were coming. It just has been proven not to work very well. So social media, when you are connecting, that is a best way. And go, and I will post, look at me, I'm so good, post Kyle Kirschbaum's slides for social media. And there are many free resources on the internet, YouTube channels, YouTube people who will help you and tell you pros and cons about social media. I do not use social media to build my business. I use social media to connect with hundreds of people. And then in a private setting, I contact them and send out samples, or I find out about them. I'm just saying that's me. There are lots of people who do lots more on social media, and Kyle Kirschbaum teaches us how to do that. So I'll get that to you. And I wonder if somebody recorded that. I will find out. And if there is a link to the actual recording, I will post that too. Okay? All right. And then knowing the commitment of builders. Oh, don't we all wish we had a crystal ball? Don't we all wish that? Okay. So one of the ways that you can know a commitment of a builder is if they are willing to do exactly what you are being asked to do in this 7-week course. So Kyle Kirschbaum, actually, I'm going to post his How to Find Builders. How to Find Builders. And he says that if somebody comes up to him like, yeah, wow, I really am interested. Look at your success. I would totally want to do this. He hands them a book. It's called GoPro by Eric Worre, W-O-R-R-E, GoPro. And he says, read this, and when do you think you could have it read by? You know, like today's Tuesday, could you have it read by Friday? And if the person says yes, he's okay, I'll call you on Friday. If he calls on Friday and they're like, oh, I really haven't had time to read it, he doesn't wash his hands of them, but he's like, okay, good to know. Probably not hungry, probably not, what I'm looking for, because he wants people that are gung-ho. Now, people like you and me who aren't double presidential diamond, I don't think they're double yet, but we probably are looking for different types of people at this point. But another thing that he says is if he gives someone a book and then he says, well, could you have this book read by Friday? And they say, they call him on Wednesday and they're like, this was amazing, give me more. Then he's like, okay, you're my guy or you're my girl. And then he'll start working with them and invest time and resources and just all of that creative stuff in that person. So you're really looking for someone who you want to spend a lot of time with, that you love, that's fun to work with, and that you can see would be a good fit for you. Now, that being said, back in the early days of doTERRA, I can't remember the name of the presidential diamond who told this story. I can't remember her name. Anyway, she was just starting out and she was maybe like trying to hit gold or silver and bringing these people in and they're calling her every week and they're sobbing about their lives and they're just struggling so much. And one day her husband said to her, and she said this in front of a lot of people, she goes, my husband said to me, really? This is the best you've got? This is who you're building. They're pathetic. And she's just like, but they're my people. Anyway, all of them now, every single one of those women are like diamond, 3 diamond, even presidential diamond. So she's like, don't worry. We just, sometimes we have to do what we can do. And I checked this morning, there's a website or an article called The Butterfly Nightmare. And it's it's just an article. You can find it online. You can Google butterfly nightmare, and it's a biologist who's posting about what happens to a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It's the same DNA from the egg to the caterpillar to the chrysalis to the butterfly. Same DNA in every stage. But after the caterpillar goes into the chrysalis, literally the matter of the caterpillar melts down. It is destroyed. It just like turns into this primordial goop. And then from that destroyed caterpillar, then a new beautiful butterfly is formed. And so to some of us, we're like, oh my gosh, I have to melt down. I have to like completely be destroyed, and I have to go through all this stuff. doTERRA is a personal development company wrapped up in essential oils, and you will find that your doTERRA journey is the most valuable journey that you could ever go on, because it will require the best in you, and every level will require a better you. Every new rank, every new goal will require a better you, and then the new you that is emerging is glorious and beautiful. So we talked about ants, and I think Aria mentioned that her ants were swarming, and somebody posted like, I had a nightmare about the swarming ants. I felt bad about that, but it is a journey. And when things get hard and we come up against a problem, it's not unsolvable because we live in solutions, but just know, wow, okay, all right, I am on the journey. I am in mighty company. I am in mighty company. And that is very, very comforting to me to know that the mighty have made it through and have not fallen. They have made it through, and I can too. Okay, so I have my list of homework that I'm going to post for you and I'm going to find. And today I'm going to vomit on you just like as fast as I can. Some really awesome stuff. So when we are getting ready to present, we want to make sure that we have set ourselves up for the best success that we can. And if we're helping someone else, like if we have booked classes from classes, which I will also post that video, which is really awesome, booking classes from classes, and incentives, some ideas for incentives, I'll post that. We want to set ourselves and our people up for success. So we did the math last week, and I actually put my nerd glasses on with the tape there, and that is invite or share with and prepare 15 people. Out of those 15, 10 will show up to either a class or a one-on-one. Now, does that mean that if you have a class on Wednesday night at 7, those 10 people are going to come? Well, maybe, but maybe not. But you know that those 10 people are wonderful prospects that if you don't follow up with them, you are building someone else's business. And that is like that's happened to me, and I have actually reaped the rewards of that as well, that I have found someone and they'll go, oh yeah, a couple years ago, somebody gave me some Deep Blue, but then they never called me back. And so they've signed up with me. I was like, ka-ching. But then I know that the same thing has happened when people have fallen through the cracks in my system. So out of your 15 well prepared, which could mean that you had a bottle of oil, you dropped it on their hand, and they had an experience right then and there on the spot. It could also mean, wow, I just have my bottle of peppermint in my bag. Here, borrow this. In a couple of days, I'll come and pick it up and we'll talk about it. There you go. Now you have an excuse to go follow up because you've loaned the bottle out, and then you're teaching the person how to use it, and they're having the experience right there. And sometimes when you send people samples or you give them, they get home and they get scared of them, and they're like, I can't remember what you said. I don't want to hurt. I don't know my kids. And so, you call them back and you're like, so did you use them? And they're like, well, I haven't. And you're like, I thought, and then that little tiger comes out. So when that happens, we're like, wow, I'm so excited that you have them. And then you walk them through. Why don't you get it out right now and let's put it on, or something. Someone posted a thread on our Facebook page, and there were some really good answers given there. So out of those 10 that show up to a class, maybe on Wednesday night, or maybe they can't make it, They really can't. And so maybe you'll have a class of a Saturday and they can come to that one. Or maybe you'll call them up and you can say, hey, I saw that you missed the class. I know you really wanted to come. Would there be a good time that we could get together and do a free 30-minute health and wellness evaluation where you tell me all your health issues and I will go over them with you and I will listen to what you've got going on with your kids or your husband or your mom or your sister. And then I'll tell you about the most popular products that we have and I'll tell you what I think would be a really good fit for you. There's no pressure to buy anything, but if you see something you like, I'll help you get that. That took 30 seconds to say that, but I've practiced a lot. But see, you could practice a lot with your accountability partner. Anyway, so out of that 5, if you do the math, 5 people will end up enrolling, maybe not the first time, because Tiffany Peterson teaches that most people need 4, what she calls touches, or 4 experiences, 4 exposures to any product before we buy it. So think about your iPhone or your Samsung. How many times did you like look at an ad about that, or did you try your friends, or did you see someone, or was it more than 4 times, or did you just like, I want that, I don't care if it works or not, I just want it? Most of us need a little bit of time. And Eric Worre teaches us that okay, so the percentage gets smaller and smaller. So most salespeople, like we are salespeople, they stop after the first rejection. We're just like, oh, okay, I'm done with you. I don't want to bother you. The people that go the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, they're the ones that are making the most amount of sales. So it's a smaller number of people who dare to keep going, somehow keep trying, stay in contact, let the relationship grow, have a few experiences. The smallest amount of people actually do that, and they are the ones who make the most sales. So the smallest percent of people who just stay at it make the best sales. So just remember that when you're doing your math and thinking, I've asked my friend twice and she said no both times. Well, has she had her 4 exposures yet? No. So put that in your thing. I want to do in your books. I'm going to do at least 4. But the relationship is always really important. Okay. So out of that, sharing with 15 and 10 show up, 5 enroll, hopefully you can find 1 builder out of that. And they might not be your perfect dream builder who have no problems personally, who are driven and who just like get in there and they do all of their goals immediately and they hit silver in 2 days. And, yeah, but you might find one like that. But then I always ask myself, am I that kind of leader? Did I do that? Do I do that? And so I kind of think that I have $1 million dreams and $10 actions. So take stock of yourself. There's no judgment, just no. And while we're on this subject, I'd like to talk to you about guilt for a minute. Guilt is information. Will you please all just write that down or put that somewhere where you can see it and let that go into your heart. Guilt is information. That means that one of your values, something that you value a lot, and something that you do collide. And it's not pretty because your action was not the same as your value. Okay, how many of us are human? How many of us do that? I really want to be healthy. Here's my good value. I love Oreos. I ate an entire package of Oreo cookies. Bam, bam, bam. Now I could turn this into shame, and I could say, I'm such a horrible person. I am never going to overcome this. There's no hope for me. I'm a loser. That's shame, and shame is never helpful. But if you can take a step back, like Laura Jacobs taught us, and say, wow, this is fascinating. My value and my action collided, and they're not the same. Good to know. And then we step forward. We don't get in shame. We don't get in self-loathing and all of those things that can happen with that, and we move forward. So I hope that helped somebody. And Jim Rohn, who's a great trainer, he trained Tony Robbins and hundreds of other awesome people. He said, when we help people with their lives, we will make a difference, and we will also help them with their business. So hopefully all of these little tidbits that you're learning are going to be able to go back into your life and help you with your family, with your marriages, with your relationships, with your coworkers and things. Okay. And while we're on that, I just want to put another thing out there. To compare is to despair. So with that guilt, action, value, collision, compare and despair. Let's not do that. Let's just remember, every time we compare, that's what's happening. So, okay, now we're going to get onto the positive stuff. So, how many of you have ever ridden on an elevator? You push the button and you wait for it to come down. It goes ding, and then the door opens and you walk in with whoever else is there, and you rise up to the next, levels, and you can go all the way up to the very top. Okay, some people, and this has to do with finding builders, which a lot of you asked about, and also customers. So don't just think that we're talking business. We are talking customers. And as you are presenting this week, I want you to think about the elevator versus the escalator. Okay, so let's talk builders now. Let's say that you are finding a builder, and you find this builder, or you find a customer. It's, oh, yes. And so you push the button and you walk on together, and then you rise up, and you're rising, and you have the intention to go all the way up. But all of a sudden, the person standing next to you pushes stop, door open, and steps off. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. We were on this elevator together. We were on this journey, and you said you wanted to be a loyal customer and have a 100 LRP every month, and that you were going to take the supplements, and, or, you were going to be a builder, and you were going to do whatever. And then all of a sudden they get off, and all you had in the elevator was maybe one or two people. And now they're getting off and they're leaving you by yourself. That is the elevator mentality. Now let's go to the escalator mentality. An escalator is constantly running. It is constantly, and people are stepping on and going up, and stepping on and going up, and stepping on. And sometimes it's packed and people are just like sardines, and sometimes there's spaces between. But if you think about your doTERRA business as an escalator, you will be so much happier with the results you get, and feelings are very important. So with builders, do not think, I found my dream builder, and now I'm going to put everything into, I found my perfect customer, so I'm just going to focus on that person, because that can set you up for despair. So let's imagine I am just putting people on the escalator with me all the time. And there's not just, okay, door closed, we have enough. It's just constantly people are coming on. And that way, when people do get off, as we all have experienced, we might have even got off somebody's escalator. Think about your life, or someone's elevator, but you are constantly feeding people into your escalator. And that is how you're constantly sharing samples. You are prepared. You have them on your body. You have them in your bag, in your backpack. You have them in a satchel. You have them. And if you don't want to make the tiny little ones that can go home with the person, you can put the samples right on people right there on the spot. Okay, so you've prepared. Now it's time to present. Okay, just by a raise of hand, or okay, Amanda said, I invite people over the phone or text and confirm their interest, then follow up with the Facebook invite. I get about 50-50 attendees, which is dramatically better than just sending the Facebook invite only. Yes. Can everyone be muted? Is everybody not muted? Oh, yes. I can't hear anybody, but I will do that. Sorry. Okay, is that better? I hope that's better. Okay, I hope I didn't mute myself. Did I mute myself? Okay. All right. So when we're in the class, this is one of my secret weapons. And this has actually changed a lot of people for the better. So I'm going to tell you really fast. This is called the jewels of personality. Okay. So people have done many different types of personality tests. For instance, the 5 love languages. They've done things like you're a red or a blue or a yellow or a white, or they are an A or a B personality, or a driver or a supporter, or, you know, there's lots. I've even seen it with vegetables. I've seen it with birds. I've seen it all these different ways, animals. But I love jewels because jewels are beautiful and they sparkle and they're valuable. And if you can look at people in your class, and we're going to talk classes right now, but I want you to think about your children. I want you to think about other people in your life and see how this can maybe open up your whole, like, bust your brain open. So when I first started teaching classes, I learned that we have a little system in doTERRA. So the person who is hosting will stand up just for a second and introduce themselves and say, thank you for coming. I love the oils, and take 30 seconds. I'm kidding, not kidding, 30 seconds. I had an experience when my child or myself or my foot, and now for our guest speaker. And then whoever is going to be presenting. This person is so amazing because she and he and goes down and does all of these little introductions. That is called a verbal high five. That's what you do. It's sort of like you just validate each other so that the people in your audience know, wow, I have a great hostess or a host, and also I have a great teacher. And sometimes we're total strangers. Okay, now this is a time when you can actually create the whole groundwork for your success in that class. So there's 4 types of personality jewels. And if in your introduction, you can appeal to all 4, you're going to have an audience that is engaged with you instead of people that are looking at their watch and, you know, on their phones and I got to go. And so let's just start really fast. Let's start with emeralds. Oh, green is my favorite color. Emeralds are beautiful. They're valuable. They shimmer. They reflect light. They're really great jewels. Well, people that are emeralds love information. Oh my goodness, they love it. They love to see how the big picture fits together. They like to know the details. They like to know, they work problems out in their mind and they put things together. And if they can see there's a discrepancy, man, they're just like, well, I know how to fix this. I know how to make this better. And why can't you see that? And we should do this. And I have a question. I have a question. I have a question. And when I first started teaching classes, I hated emeralds in my class. Oh, because I was new and I thought they're trying to undermine me. They're trying to expose that I don't know everything about doTERRA. They're trying to like distract me. They're trying to like plant seeds of doubt in the audience. I just had all of these stories that I was telling myself. I love emeralds now. I love having an emerald in my class because really, truly, they want information and their brains are clicking and the like gears are coming together and they're putting pieces together and they really want information. So thinking about being a leader, do we want an emerald on our team? Oh my goodness, yes, we do. Give them a problem to solve and they are on it. Okay, now I'll tell you a secret. Emeralds think they're better than everyone else. They do. Because they know everything and they can see and they can figure things out and they love information and they're the kinds that when we go to the doctor, we know more than the doctor about what we think we have. So anyway, that is an emerald. Now think about your family. Think about you? Are you an emerald? Do you have emeralds in your family? Do you have emeralds on your team? Do you have emeralds in a class? Yes, you are. So celebrate that. Now, when you have an emerald, you want to help them realize that just because they can see a big picture, there are many ways to do things and there are many staircases to success. So if you have an emerald, it's really important to validate them and appreciate them and celebrate their skills but help them see that there are very important other aspects of persons. Okay, the next one is a sapphire. Oh, blue, rich, deep color, reflects light, shimmers, very beautiful and valuable. And sapphires in the jewels of personality are people who love to have a good time. They are the kind of people, when they walk in the room, man, that party starts. Everybody, they're greeting everyone, they're telling jokes, they're making everybody feel comfortable, they're looking around, they're just like, whoa, let's have some fun. Let's get some music, let's get some food. You know, they're just making sure, they're checking that everybody's just having fun and there's no fighting and everybody feels great. Okay, do you want a blue in your class? Oh yeah, you do, because they bring the buzz. They bring that extra juice. Now, I'll give you a secret. Sapphires think they're better than everybody else because sapphires, they like to have fun. Doesn't everybody like to have fun? I mean, that's the most important thing, making people feel great and leaving and going, wow, I had such a good time. So if you have a sapphire, they do not want lists of things to do. They don't care about lists. You give them maybe 2 or 3 things to do, maybe one thing, and just say, don't you think it would be so fun to have a party at your house? I'll bring like the chocolate peppermint gluten-free cake, and I'll bring all my stuff, and we'll just put some diffusers on. We'll have some fun games about oils, maybe. Now, that's how you talk to a sapphire. That's how you engage a sapphire. Now, when you're working with a sapphire, you need to be careful because sometimes sapphires are so concerned about other people's feelings that they get run over and they don't speak up and they don't really say what they think because they don't want to make any waves. They don't want to rock the boat. Now, this is, of course, general. This is all general. But so think about yourself. Are you a sapphire? Michelle's like, no. Do you have any sapphires in your family? Do we want sapphires around us? Yes. But we need to help sapphires realize too that there are many staircases to success and there are many types of personality. And just because you don't want to party all the time, it's okay. And we do need to get things done, but we talk to them and we deal with them in a different way. Okay, the next one is a ruby. Rubies are red. They are flashy. They are like, woo, out there. They're bright and they catch your eye. Okay, in our jewels of personality, rubies are driven, goal-oriented, success-oriented people. Not only are they good at being in the spotlight, not only are they good at taking charge, they like it. We like it. I have a lot of ruby in me. So do we want rubies on our team? Oh yes. Do we want rubies in our class? Well, okay. Now that we want rubies in our class because they will help drive conversations forward. They're outspoken sometimes. They're not afraid to talk. They like to engage. But we also need to, and another secret, rubies think they're better than everybody else. We do. We think we're better than everybody else because why don't you want to just like get things done? Come on. What's your problem? We got a goal. Let's go get it. Let's make some money. Let's accomplish. Let's cross all those things off of our list. So we want rubies, but we need to help rubies understand that there are many staircases to success. And just because people are a little more laid back and they like information and they like to process things, rubies are usually quick. They just want to go get stuff done. And so in your classes, if you see a ruby, celebrate that ruby and know that they are going to be engaged when you talk about goals. When you talk about things that you can accomplish, ways that you can achieve better health, better wellness. What is it that you want? We have an oil for that. So that is really good to know about rubies. Okay, now the last but not least is pearls, our pearls. Now think of what a pearl looks like. A pearl is translucent, smooth, protected, grown in an oyster, surrounded by yummy, and then produced and grow and grow and grow. Now, if you think about a pearl is someone who just loves people, loves to protect, loves to save, loves to give care. Now, in doTERRA, we have a lot. We have a lot of pearls. Pearls are nurses and caregivers and babysitters and mothers and fathers who just like want to love and include everybody. And do we want pearls on our team or in our family? Oh my goodness, yes, we do. Do we want pearls in our class? Yes. Sometimes pearls think they're better. We are better than other people because we don't care as much. We don't have this life goal to save the whales or save the trees, which I believe in all 100%. But it's, and so sometimes we need to help pearls take those blinders off and go, wow, there are more pathways to success than just mine. And sometimes the things we need to watch out for with pearls is that we get so focused that we forget about the other things. So why am I talking about this in relation to the little introduction? So I would love it if each one of you could write your personal bio in 4 sentences. Well, 5. My name is something. My name is Merrilli. That's sentence number 1. Now, when you do that, the hostess is saying, hey, welcome to the class. I found doTERRA this way. And now here's our teacher. If you have already written out your name and 4 things about you that appeal to each type of jewel that your hostess can read or can tell, you are going to have a much more engaged audience. So, for example, if you are talking, you are assuming that you have all the jewels. So you want to talk to the rubies. In doTERRA, we can achieve, and you say that word, or we can accomplish. We can bring about change in our health and wellness. I have a goal. I had a problem and I solved it. Think that kind of language. So the ruby is going to go, oh, what? Wow, I didn't know doTERRA was like that. And depending on who you're talking to, if it's a one-on-one and if it's a whole class, but try to think of something you could say about yourself that would illustrate something about your personality or your experience with the oils or in doTERRA that's going to appeal to the rubies. The greens, the emeralds, we are going to learn so much today. You are going to see how things fit together. It's going to make so much sense to you, those types of things. And then you could share, I love teaching because we learn this, and this. Or, I don't even want to try to make myself authentic how you are. So this just has to be authentic you. Sapphires, we're going to have so much fun. You're going to put oils on. We're going to smell them. We're going to breathe in diffused oils. We're going to take a drink of the mystery oil tonight, which could be tangerine or clementine. I don't care what it is. And so you're engaging, and we just want everybody to have a great time tonight. And then the pearls and the mission of doTERRA to put a healer in every home, to give us a first line of defense for mothers and fathers and families everywhere. So that's all I'm really going to say about that, because you are all smart and you will know how to do that. So if you dare, and if you're willing, I will post a picture of the 4 jewels, and I'll post that on Facebook. And if you want to post an introduction of yourself, of how you can personalize that so that you can appeal as you present this week. And if you're doing one-on-ones, find a way to include, because you might not know the person. You might not know. And so you want to appeal to every part of that. Okay, now I'm going to ask you, how many of you have had to put on your ruby before? You've had to get up in front and you've had to take charge of something. You've had to have a goal. You've had to achieve it. You've had to make it happen. How many of you have had to put your ruby on? Yes, we all do. Okay, how many of you have ever put your pearl on? How many of you are pearls? Yeah, we have that time when we just bask in our pearlness. How many of you are known for, or maybe you've had to put on your party animal and you're like, oh, this really isn't me, but I want to make sure everybody's happy. Yeah. Okay, Stephanie, I see yeah. Yes, we have to put on our party girl and our party guy sometime. And how about your emerald? How many of you actually have to go research stuff ever? and figure stuff out. Like there's a problem, you have to like figure, okay, see, so we all have everything in us and we can all call upon that. So I want right now for you to just say, I have all the jewels in me. I am totally capable of everything that is going to be required of me. I can put on my ruby, I can put on my emerald, I can put on my pearl, I can put on my sapphire. And now that that's in your head, I call these brain gadgets. And I actually have a life coaching business called Brain Gadgets. And no, it's not a silver bowl with things sticking out of it that we go, woo, woo, woo. It's you have these tools that when you need them, like Inspector Gadget has a gadget for every job. And so that's what I've just given you some really good brain gadgets that now, if you're in a situation, you're going to be able to remember the jewels. So hopefully that will help you in your presenting this week. If you don't know the answer to something, is there shame in that? All of you should be emphatically shaking your head. No. What is a very, very, very good answer or response if you don't know the answer to something? Somebody type it or take yourself off mute and say, what is a very, very good, acceptable answer?
Let's look up that together.
Okay, Amanda says, let me find out. I love it. What else? Charisse, I'm going to take you off mute because I see you're not muted.
Let's look up that together.
Can I read your lips, Charisse? I can't unmute you because you're not muted in the first place.
Look.
Stephanie, were you trying to take something off mute? I can unmute you, Stephanie, for some reason, maybe. Okay, Stephanie.
Can you hear me? I don't know. I could hear Charisse.
What's going on? I can't hear anybody.
Oh, no.
Can I unmute all of you? Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm just going to unmute everybody. It says that all participants are unmuted. There you are. I can hear stuff now.
Oh.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Stephanie.
Oh, well, I could hear Charisse before too. I don't know if everybody else can. It looks like she's muted now, okay. But she said, let's look it up together.
Perfect answer.
That's exactly what I was going to say too. So.
Okay. Yep, let's look it up. I love that. And what are we teaching our people when we say that? You all know the answer. When we say, let's look it up, what are we modeling for them?
They can do the business too.
Yeah. You don't have to know everything. Very good. Excellent. Okay. How long should your class be? Just somebody shout out. How long before you absolutely end, cut, done?
40 to 50 minutes.
And what is who said that? Was that Noelle?
Yeah.
Good. And how much time should you set aside for talking about their personal problems and closing?
An hour?
Anybody? Ooh, okay. Amanda said an hour. That's probably, you mean like total or after the class is over?
No, after the class. My whole class is 2 hours. So the first 45 minutes is me teaching about the oils, and the rest is talking with them about their issues and enrolling.
Okay. So I like that you left more time for the talking after. So whatever time frame you have, like if you have 1 hour, like Noelle said, 40 to 50 minutes, then if you have that 1 hour time, you probably want to make sure that you have enough time to talk to everybody. Put a book in their hand. Oh, hey, oh my gosh, I need to tell you something important. The new Natural Solutions handout, the class handout, does not have a credit card page on it. So if you've just barely ordered that and it comes in, and you're just going to go thinking that, oh, I'll just have them sign up, make sure that you have the old one and you make photocopies. And the reason that they've done that, what I understand is that there have been some wellness advocates who have had people's credit card sheet and they don't shred them after. And they just collect these these enrollment forms with the credit card numbers on them. So doTERRA is not putting them on now. So just beware. Don't show up and go, there's no credit card page. If you have the old ones, you're still good, but the new ones don't. Okay. I think that has answered. Oh, and we're over time. Where does the time go? Okay, my loves. So this week, you are going to post on the Facebook group your 4 sentences that describe you in ways that will appeal to all the jewels. And we're going to keep posting on the Facebook page ideas for where to have classes. If you have a great idea about, wow, I never thought of this. Okay, and another thing before we go, I just wanted to tell you this too. Many, many times, government agencies have to have a wellness program that they offer to their employees. It is not necessarily mandatory for the employees to participate, but school districts, at least here in Utah where I live, they require that, and the county, I live in Duchesne, Utah, so Duchesne County requires that the county provide a wellness program. So if you want to contact those people and say, hey, I do free classes on essential oils and health and wellness, or a wellness pyramid, or whatever you think that you could say that is going to get their interest, you could even ask them, you could say, does your organization have a wellness program for employees that you are looking for presenters to come? And so call your county commission, call your school districts, and then you are smart and you could customize whatever it is that you want to teach them. You can name it anything. You can focus on anything like sleep and stress reduction. You could say, I do a killer class on getting good sleep and reducing toxic load or reducing stress in the workplace. If you're talking to a professional organization, do you have a venue where you'd like me to come and bring my stuff and give a talk about this? Sometimes they'll say you can't sell anything. You're like, that's all right. I'll have information. Could I pass out a business card? And if people want to contact me after, usually they'll say yes. And then if you take little samples, then without saying a word, you just put that bottle of samples, or basket of samples on your desk. And at the end, you could say, if anybody would like a free sample, here they are. And then have a little clipboard. If you'd like more information, sign your name here, or give me your cell phone number or something. So anyway, okay. Counties, schools, our electric company, Moon Lake Electric, that's what we have out here in the Uinta Basin where I live. I did 6 classes for them last year. And I did them for free, but hey, I got people who knew I do doTERRA, know I do doTERRA now, and they're contacting me and asking me about things. And I had one lady enroll with an oil sharing kit at one of these classes, $800 in one. She's just, and I said, are you doing this as a business? She goes, no, I'm just sick of my kids using all my oils, and I want to have an oil sharing kit that I can just let them have all their own oils. I'm like, okay. So there's lots of awesome opportunities there. Okay, so to close off with, I just want to leave something with Tiffany Peterson that I've learned from Tiffany Peterson this week, and it is this: perfect, no. Committed, yes. Practice, practice, practice. And those are life-changing words. When we get in that perfectionist mode, we stop. If I can't do it perfectly, I'm not doing it at all. So she wants us to give up that. She calls herself a recovering perfectionist, and she just is inviting all of us to not try to be perfect, but to be committed and show up and anchor ourselves in service. When we are in service, we will do everything just how we're supposed to. Okay, my loves, happy homeworking. Post on Facebook, and I'm just going to take everybody off. Okay, you're all unmuted, and
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
you're
day.
so
Merrilli.
welcome.
Thanks, Merrilli.
Okay, Love you all.
Thanks,
Bye.
Merrilli.
Thank you.
Okay.
Night.
Bye. Good night.